Please stand for the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning, students. My name is Siobhan George, Guidance Officer 2 of St. Patrick Education District. Welcome to our first virtual district career fair. Thank you for participating in this event. Today, you will be exposed to many careers and tertiary institutions. Career exploration and planning is very important because at this stage in your development, it gives you a chance to investigate the skills needed, the qualifications required, as well as whether the career aligns with your personality as you move towards achieving your goals. We thank your schools, parents, the St. Patrick Education District, the presenters, and RSC International in making this day a success. Do enjoy this day's events and have fun in finding out the best careers to suit your goals. God bless.
Good morning again, students. I hope you had a wonderful night's rest and you are raring to go again in this our virtual career fair. So today, of course, we have another fantastic lineup in that you would be introduced to careers in the hospitality and tourism industry. So we have had a whole suite from since Tuesday exploring all the disciplines, the different careers, so that you would have many choices. So this morning, we have a team from the Sister Isle who will be sharing on the careers as it pertains to the hospitality and tourism sector. So we welcome THTI this morning, Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, Miss Lewis and her team, and they will educate you more on the careers in the hospitality and tourism sector. Thank you so much again and welcome presenters.
Thank you so much, Ms. George. Thank you for the St. Patrick District for having us at their very first virtual career fair. So I would be leading the presentation today along with my other team members, Ms. Sophia Bulhan and Ms. Shadi Lewis, right? This morning, we'll be talking to you about careers within the Tobago hospitality and tourism industry, right? TTHTI, as said by Ms. George, it stands for the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. At our institute, we have crafted and designed programs that would allow you the opportunity to get the knowledge that you need to excel within that particular industry. So we would offer you associate degree programs in tourism studies, hospitality studies, culinary arts, and food and beverage operations. For the persons that may not want to commit the 2 years that it would take to complete our associate degree programs full-time, and we also offer you the option of completing the associate degrees part-time, that would take you 3 years. We also have a variety of short courses, just in case you want to improve on some skills, or if you're not sure, if you're truly passionate about it, you can have a taste of it in our short courses. Our short courses would range from cake making, quality customer service, tour guiding, event management, digital skills, and anything along that line. I would now invite Ms. Shade Lewis to go ahead and play us just a little video from THTI.
There's no audio in the video.
Always put your all and practice excellence in everything that you do. Take the time to learn from each other, but also from the people who have come before you in this industry. Great success is always born of many failures. So take lessons from all that came before you, both their successes and their failures, and use it to transform Trinidad and Tobago's tourism and hospitality industry into the world-class product that it can be. Welcome to the industry.
You learn a lot about culture and places when it is you're interested in food. When I came out of school, I was involved in Rotaract. And through Rotaract, I interacted with a lot of islanders, and I was always just enamored with how patriotic they were. And I felt as a Tobagonian, we really didn't have people advocating and showing that love when it is we go. Yes, we love Tobago, but Tobago always kind of got overshadowed by Trinidad. Whew, that's a tough one, most memorable. I guess it's a reinforcement of my purpose. Yeah, all of my positive or memorable moments were moments that really helped to crystallize and I guess reinforce that it's worth the stress. So if I had to really drill down to one, when we won the Destination Award, and people trivialize it, but it took a lot of work for us to get there. And I felt so validated. It was very surreal going through the process. I won't lie, because, you know, we went up against destinations like Australia and New Zealand. I remember when I was in university, Australia had an amazing campaign. As I said, you're sitting with world leaders in tourism. I would say be a constant learner. We've enjoyed success by doing certain things, and sometimes we like to stay with that strategy all the time. You know, people talk about, oh, Tobago was doing so well in 2005. We're not in 2005, right? So the things we did back then, they may not work now. So you really have to be in a constant, I guess, state of learning and trying new things. And I guess taking risks. So in a nutshell, yeah, just have a thirst for knowledge. And not just knowledge like book, you know, knowledge in terms of connecting with people, because I learn a lot by going and talk to the villagers in Castara, you know, being with people on the ground. So the different there are different facets or different means of learning. So yes, there are industry practices and best practices, but you need to learn from the people who are on the ground, on the front line, what is happening, because you can get disconnected from the reality of what the destination is facing. So you kind of need to keep yourself grounded.
When I was younger, I always used to make macaroni and cheese, and I used to experiment with that as well, put different ingredients inside of it to see how the flavor changes. There was a day my mom went to the grocery and she saw a chef in the grocery, and she walked up to him and she started a conversation with him. And she told him, my son, he really loves food and he wants to be a chef. So he was like, okay, well, tell him to come down to the hotel tomorrow. This was Blue Haven Hotel. So, she came home all excited and she was like, hey, I met a chef. I told him that he wants to be a chef. So instead of sitting down home doing nothing, he said to come to the hotel tomorrow for a job. So I was like, all right, cool. That sounds good, I'll get to expand on my macaroni and cheese knowledge, Well, get an idea of new ingredients to put in my mac and cheese. So I was like, yeah, all right, let me go. There are so much memorable moments that I could mention. I was the captain of the culinary team, and we won the collegiate decor competition. It's an international competition with different cooking schools all around the world, and we won 2 years in a row. To this day, we are the only team, right, coming out of Johnson and Wales, in every Johnson and Wales campus that has ever done that 2 years in a row. So we still hold the record, we still hold the title for that. And our picture is actually in the school in a glass case in the campus. So so that aspect, then this journey has afforded me the opportunity to cook for a lot of celebrities, So I've cooked for, and this is from my personal chefing business, I've cooked for Ludacris, Fantasia, Neo, Anthony Hamilton, Taurus Riley, Congens, Marshall. I actually used to be the personal chef while I was living in Florida for a guy called Elvis Dumerville. He was actually, he used to play football, American football, for the Baltimore Ravens. So you could go there. I've cooked for millionaires and billionaires. In terms of challenging moments, I had so many challenging moments on this journey that I am still on. Could go back once again to Johnson and Wales in terms of me going to school, the exchange rate coming from Trinidad and Tobago, the exchange rate to the US dollar 6-1. And, my mom was already paying my tuition. So I told her not to send any money for me. So besides with my school work and in all these clubs, I was the vice president of the Caribbean Students Association. I was in charge of the ACF in school as the American Chef Association. I was in another group called Men of Distinction. So besides juggling all these extracurricular activities, plus for school, I had to work under the table to have money to live. So, that was really challenging. There were days that I was down to like dollars, like literally dollars. I have $2-3 in my name, and I had to find a way to survive. But I used to, say my prayers and whatever, and something always used to come along. Somebody always used to come with a job, and I don't know, like it just always worked out.
Okay, so that was the video on the careers. Now I'll hand you over to my I'll hand you over to my colleagues who will do their presentations on different careers in the tourism industry.
Hello and good morning.
Okay, just bear with us for a few seconds while we get our presentation on the screen. Thank you.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Shadia Lewis and I am a marketing officer with THCI's marketing department. My responsibility ranges from areas such as quality management and research. Today, I'm going to talk to you about careers in tourism. Tourism is a very exciting industry to be in. In tourism, you get to explore different destinations. You get to learn a lot about culture and history. And also you get to learn a lot about product development and marketing. So now I will share my screen and present a slide. Okay, so some of the careers in tourism that you can do, you could be a marketing executive. So you could be responsible for marketing anything in the tourism industry, from a destination to a tourism product. You could be a tourism product manager, so you could be responsible for managing a tourism product. It could be anything from a historical site to a botanical gardens to anything that the destination markets as a tourism products to travelers. You could be an airline and hotel. You could be in airline and hotel marketing, so you could be responsible for coming up with a marketing strategy for an airline or a hotel. You could be a travel writer or blogger. A lot of travelers recently started to, let's say, document their travels on blogs. So they will have things like 5 things to eat, 5 places to visit when you visit a destination. Travel bloggers due to YouTube. A lot of travelers start travel blogs and they document their travels from different countries around Europe, around Africa. And a way that tourism and technology are working together is virtual reality tourism. And on the side, you can see that you have Northern Ireland and you have the man in a boat and he has on the glasses and he's using virtual reality to see the destination.
So thank you very much, Shade. My name is Safia Bolhan, and I am the Manager of Marketing and Communications at THTI. So what that simply means is I have overall responsibility for all the activities that are related to marketing the institution to students such as yourselves, as well as many other partners in the industry, as well as coming up with innovative ways in which we can communicate our brand and talk to both internally and externally. And I work very closely with Shade and Keisha and a few other members of the team as well to help to make that possible for the institution and for our brand to be known. So that just gives you a brief idea for how my role, what my role involves. Now, careers in hospitality. I'm just going to begin by just reading you a short excerpt here. So what I did is I just Googled the term hospitality, right? Hospitality, the friendly and generous reception and entertainment of guests and visitors or strangers. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because you will realize just from that statement, and if you think about the number of times that you have been a guest at anything, whether it's from somebody's home to an event or a place, you will realize that the hospitality sector is very, very large. In fact, hospitality and tourism combined are one of the largest employers in the world. It's usually ranked second, sometimes third in any given country. So the opportunities in this sector are really, really huge. And the reason for that is that we're all looking for ways in which we could be entertained, whether we're traveling, whether we're in meetings, etc. So I hope through this presentation, it will really open your eyes into the various opportunities that are available for you. One of the more common ones is event management. And there are a number of events from weddings all the way to business conferences. So when you're an event manager or an event coordinator, you really can participate in a number of industries and help to put together events. This very session that you're in today required some event management. So people would have put together these sessions. So they really, if you love doing this, this kind of stuff, you will find that there will always be an opportunity for you. Sales and marketing, right? All hospitality establishments, whether those are hotels or restaurants or recreational places, they all need somebody to market them, to put that product together, whether through social media or any one of the channels. Another career is hotel manager. All these establishments need somebody to manage it. If you're in the food section, that would be the food and beverage manager. And with the change in technology, even more opportunities are presenting themselves. Technology is really helping to address some of the challenges that are coming up within the hospitality sector. But not just challenges, there are also opportunities. The technology can play a role in delighting customers, creating new experiences. You just saw briefly, for example, the virtual reality where you're touring from where you are. But even in the hospitality sector, there are interesting developments where you can bring technology to play in hospitality and open even more avenues for you. So we'll just play you 2 short videos just to show you how technology is changing the world of hospitality.
Alexa, wake me up at 6:15 a.m.
No longer will Marriott guests have to get out of bed or pick up the phone. They'll be able to ask Alexa to turn the lights off, change the channel, recommend restaurants nearby, or even order room service. This summer, Marriott will be implementing the Amazon Echo device in 10 hotels. With every high-tech integration, concerns over privacy are brought up. That's why Amazon came out to say the data collected by guest requests will be deleted daily. And Marriott says those who don't want an Echo device in their room can ask to have it be removed. Hilton has what they call Connected Room, a way for guests to control everything from their mobile device through an app, controlling everything from TV channels, room temperature, and lights. Josh Weiss, Vice President of Guest Technology at Hilton, says it's a way for guests to customize their stay.
On the wall here, we have examples of screens that could be showing preloaded pictures of your family or of your favorite leisure activities so that room really comes to life as your space when you're in it. And then, of course, when it's time for you to check out, it all clears out and the next guest can have it be their way.
We loaded up. Last year at Rising Star Resort, just outside Las Vegas, they debuted a robot concierge, and I got to go there to check it out.
Your delivery has arrived. Our robot is waiting outside your door for you to pick it up.
Bringing guests amenities at all hours of the day and night. The delivery robot named Relay was created by the San Jose tech company Savvy Oak and was designed to operate elevators, navigate crowds, and speak to guests.
It is definitely a unique experience to be working at a facility that offers this to guests as a means of guest services.
So far, over 70 hotels have the Relay robot. Technology is truly changing the hotel experience. For the Now,
help you? I am Hilton's newest concierge in training, thanks to a pilot project between Hilton and IBM.
Hospitality is a really interesting use case for Watson because inevitably you have people who need information. They need to find a restaurant, they need to find a park, they need to get directions.
We operate in a very crowded industry, so innovation is key. Innovation has to help solve problems operationally. Innovation has to help our customers. It's an opportunity to really delight customers in ways that they don't expect.
We're really excited.
Okay, so Safia, that's the end of your portion?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Shadi. Thank you, Safia. I would continue the presentation on careers in hospitality and tourism with the careers in culinary arts. But first, I'll just tell you a little bit about my role within the marketing team. So I would be responsible for assisting with projects like these, presenting research projects as well, interacting with you on social media, and helping with the creation and design of different programs and short courses that we would offer at the institution. So now we would head over to careers in culinary arts. The first career that we have is the executive chef. This is the prestigious title that most persons who operate within the culinary arts industry would like to have. The executive chef is usually responsible for the day-to-day operations within the kitchen environments at a restaurant. So they would be responsible for ensuring that the quality and the consistency of the food remains the same, and the reputation that the restaurant would have established is maintained as well. We go on to a food writer or critic. Now, this type of career would be easier to navigate within a world where the pandemic is forcing us to be a bit more creative when it comes to careers, trying to do things that we would be able to operate with remotely or in isolation. So the food critic or the food writer would be the person that would have a tasting and would then create an article that would describe how the food was delivered, how it was plated, its taste, its effect on the palate, etc. So we would be able to provide you with courses that would give you the necessary knowledge to be successful in a career like a food writer or critic. Next up, we have the food photographer. So we all see those billboard pictures, we all see the magazine pictures everywhere. The food photographer would be responsible for those, getting the right angles, the right lighting, that sort of thing. Next up, we have an artisan food producer. These persons would focus primarily on the quality and consistency of the food. So they would continue improving their recipes to ensure that the products and the quality of the products and the meals that they would offer for retail and wholesale are maintained as well. We have a food technologist. So we all know different corporations would continuously introduce us to new flavors, new items, new products. The food technologist is the person who is responsible for the science behind this. Finally, in careers in culinary arts, we have the ghost kitchen. The ghost kitchen is gonna pick up because of the pandemic. This career is where you, as the culinary art professional, would be able to create your meals and offer them to your guests. However, there's no need for direct contact. So you would first take the traditional physical restaurants and you'll be posting meals online, marketing online, attracting the attention of your customers online, and then have the food delivered on set dates and times. The next slide will be on careers in food and beverage. The first career we have is a food and beverage cost controller. Now, this person is a key aspect within the restaurants and the bars because they would be responsible for assisting the managers with getting the perfect suppliers, ensuring that the quality of the items that the stock that they bring in is up to mark, and just making the best financial decisions when it comes to the food and beverage aspect of the restaurants. The restaurant manager is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the establishment that they're in. So they'll be liaising with the executive chef and the food and beverage cost controller as well. We have up next the sports nutritionist. Now, this is an exciting career because this person would be focusing more on the benefits of food instead of the actual creation of food. So they would be focusing on working with athletes to create diet plans and ensure that they are up to mark. Then finally, we have the bartenders. So we all love to see really nice prepared and design and creative cocktails. So the bartenders would be responsible for that. We have something called a sommelier. They would be responsible for primarily focusing on wine. So they would be professionals, something like a wine connoisseur. So they'll be professionals. They will have extensive knowledge on wines, foods that it should be paired with, and everything along that lines. So this would bring us to the end of our presentation on careers in the tourism hospitality industry. We would leave you with our social media information. On Facebook, we are at Real Tobago THTI. Our website, where you can find more information on our associate degree programs, our short courses, and apply online, is www.thti.edu.tt. I'll repeat that one. It's www.thti.edu.tt. On Instagram, you can follow us at THTI_Tobago. Our email address for more information, just in case you need clarification on anything, is info@thti.edu.tt. And if all else fails, you can always call our offices at 660-2196. If not, and you prefer to message us, you can use the number 303-5153. So at this time, I'll just like to say thank you on behalf of the team and invite anyone that has questions.
Thank you so much. And I must say, I enjoyed those beautiful pictures of food. They looked so very inviting. I think before the questions start to come in, just to engage a little bit about that ghost kitchen, because I see the relevance of it in this COVID time. So if it is, you can just expand a little bit about what has been happening with the creation of these ghost kitchens as a result of the pandemic.
Okay, so from my research that I would have done, ghost kitchens peaked because of the pandemic. Because if we're all familiar with Uber Eats, where you'll be able to download an app, you will select which food provider you'd like to have your meal from, and then they deliver it to your location. So that makes dining out easier. Now, the ghost kitchen is the top tier experience to Uber Eats. So instead of having your usual service providers, this person now would give you the entire restaurant experience in your home, and it will be delivered to you. So in advance, they'll advertise, okay, the ghost kitchen will be available this Friday. And on the menu, we'll have this, and then you choose, okay, you want to have it, you put in your information, location, they'll organize for delivery, and you'll be able to experience the fine dining restaurant experience at your home.
Oh, that is nice. Because I know with all the social media and all the pictures going around of various things, I know there was at one point in time, the seafood boil was a craze and everybody wanted to get this seafood boil. So I'm seeing the relevance, of course, of the ghost kitchen. So let me ask this as I await the questions coming in. Do we have a lot of Trinidadians accessing the Institute? I know that we are online, so I guess some of the courses would, of course, be accessible online, but in the practical areas like the culinary arts and the food and the beverage, tell me what happens there.
Yes, we do have students. We've always had students from Trinidad coming to study in Tobago, and we do have some now. When it comes to the practical courses, those do require a presence. So we do have students who've come and stayed in Tobago even prior to COVID, but even now during COVID, during the practical elements of the courses, they do travel, come up here and be able to participate. Obviously, in small groups, due to COVID, we do follow the regulations, and the class sizes are reduced depending on what the instructions are to fulfill your practical elements. But the theory courses can be done. So we have a blended learning environment. So you could be in Trinidad and do the theory courses because the courses are online, But for the practical courses, you would come to Tobago and do those. And they would largely be in the culinary arts program, but some of the in the food and beverage program as well, like mixology and other things. You would also have to have those practical classes on campus.
All right, okay. What about the gender, the ratio, males to females? Because I know that normally, from what I know from my layman knowledge, I see a lot of male chefs. So share with me a little bit about the gender ratio.
Okay. Yes, traditionally, the chef industry has, especially at the executive chef level, has been traditionally male dominated, but we do have a lot of females, not only just in our program, but in general, who are coming up and making a name for themselves in the chefing industry. So I can definitely say, if we just look at our population alone, we definitely have probably more female students studying culinary arts than males. Don't quote me, I'm not looking at the numbers, but I do know that we have a number of female, and many of them have gone on to establish their own businesses, as well as work in the industry. So the landscape is changing. That's the one. The landscape is changing, and we are seeing more and more prominent executive chefs who are female as well.
All right. Now, you know, food and nutrition and home management are two subjects usually offered at the CSEC level that we encourage students who are interested in this field to participate in. But what other CSEC subjects do you all recommend apart from food and nutrition and home management?
Okay, actually, you do not even need to have a specific subject area. The criteria to come to THDI is 5 CXC subjects, so including math and English. The training at THDI is very comprehensive. So even if you've never taken a course in food and nutrition and you want to come into culinary arts, everything that you need to know about culinary arts, you will be taught at THDI. You know, foundation from food prep, the food science, all the way to the end. So if you have an interest at any point during your educational journey and you decide that you would like to explore the hospitality and tourism industry, THDI has courses, programs that will prepare you from beginning to end. So irrespective of what subject you've done, but we do require math and English. Now, if for any reason you do not have math and English at the time when you want to enter, we do have a program called the THDI Path Program. And what it does, it allows students who do not have all the 5 CXCs or are missing math and English, you will do one semester in which you do a math and English, plus the other core subjects that are related to hospitality and tourism. And then in the next semester, you'll be able to join the associate degree path. So we do have a path as well for students to come in that way.
Okay, I want to find out about where our students have gone. I heard from the video with the young man that he ended up cooking in Florida. Is Florida, I think he mentioned. So if you can share with our students, where have our students gone from leaving THTI? Where have they gone in the world to show off their culinary as well as hospitality skills?
Okay, all right. Well, firstly, I want to explain something. The THTI program is a 2-year associate degree program. It is a fully accredited program, which means that it is recognized internationally. So after your 2 years, if you decide you want to go and do a bachelor's degree, you can do that. We have already partnerships with UE and other international institutions, and which means that your 2 years will already count. So with just another additional 2 years, you will have a bachelor's degree. That's the first thing. And that can take you anywhere in the world. And we have many of, so let me mention like some of our, you've asked a good question, where have some of our graduates gone over the years, right? So for those who finished, many of them went on to pursue their master's degree as well. Our Dean of Academics at THTI is a former student of THTI. So after she left THTI, she went to Trinidad, and eventually she also got her bachelor's degree. Then she went on to get her master's degree and work in different places, and she taught, and then eventually came back and she's teaching, and now she's the Dean of Academics. Until recently, I believe maybe just before COVID, I'm not sure where actually he's at, but the tourism representative for Tobago, who is based in Canada, is a graduate of THTI. So when he left THTI, he went on to FIU, which is Florida, it's the university in Florida. I forget the full name of it, but it is one of the top universities for that teach hospitality and tourism. And after he got his bachelor's degree, and he came back here, he worked for the Division of Tourism, and then he eventually moved on and he went to Canada, and he worked as the representative for Tobago, marketing Tobago in the Canadian marketplace. And there are others who have, gone on. As I said, we have partners with institutions in Switzerland, for example, to go and enhance your skills in hospitality as well. So our graduates have gone on to start businesses. Many of them are entrepreneurs. They have their own restaurants and their own businesses. So the opportunities are really immense and very diverse.
Wonderful. You mentioned we need, for entry requirements, 5 CSEC subjects. At what age? What age could students enter into the programs?
Okay, I'll let my colleagues answer. Shade?
Okay, the youngest that a student could enter the THI associate degree in all 4 areas, tourism, hospitality, culinary arts, and food and beverage is 16. Okay. As you know, the course is, the associate degree duration is 2 years full-time, 3 years part-time. So there are certain courses such as food and beverage in which you will have to interact with alcohol. So usually that course will be your last semester. So when the 2 years pass, you will be 18. So you'll be able to do that course and
pass. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Thank you very much. Could you all share some of the salaries? I mean, you all mentioned so many careers, from events management to a food photographer. Could you all give us the salary range?
Okay, I don't have specific stats, but I can tell you, I think for most of you who follow many of the famous chefs, whether they're online or TV celebrities, you saw in that video, one of our chef lecturers has actually cooked for some of the stars, etc. So he has his own business as well, consulting, and he does do private chefing for celebrities as well, and other private entities. So many of our graduates have started their own businesses, which means your income potential is whatever you want it to be, but if you're working in a traditional role, for example, you come in and you're working in a hotel or in an organization such as ourselves, whether you're a marketing officer or you're just starting out, entry level, etc. Those would be very, very similar salaries to anybody starting a professional life anywhere in a business, right? So, and I imagine that could range anywhere from, when you're just starting out, entry level from 5,000, all the way to over 10 to 15,000 a month, as a career. But as I said, as you get more qualifications and experience, you could become a hotel manager. So you really would then be able to compete for management level salaries. When you graduate you're ahead of the curve already. Many of them become supervisors in these establishments. So you would be able to have sort of that supervisory level pay. And if you're really excellent and you end up, being a restaurant manager or an executive chef at a great establishment, then, that will command even higher salaries.
Wow, yes.
Another career that I wanted to talk a little bit, because with the onset of all the online businesses and all the activities happening online, there's also a great opportunity to generate income online. So, for example, previously, food photographers were providing photography for magazines, etc. But now we have people who become influencers, and they take beautiful food photography. They're also food stylists. So that's a whole profession in itself. Once you've studied culinary arts, you could specialize in food styling because you're taught how to present food, which foods work together, colors, and so forth. And these influencers have become extremely successful in marketing themselves and in getting a lot of followers online just by doing beautiful food styling and food photography. Also, a lot of companies have to market so hard now on the internet, online in social media, to create content. So the whole field of food writing has also exploded. Because before, you were a food writer for some of the major magazines, but now everybody needs content in order to market online. So they need people who can can write this content. So when you have great knowledge in culinary arts, for example, you can become a food writer. When you have great knowledge in tourism, etc., you could write a lot about travel, because everybody needs content to accompany the pictures, to accompany the videos, to do the script. So really, this is just the beginning of so much that is happening in this industry that would open so many more opportunities for those interested.
And I saw too in the presentation, the marriage between information technology with the robotics, as well as this industry. So as you rightly point out, there is so much that students can be exposed to and explore as they see themselves fitting in, of course, in this industry. So thank you so much. Let me allow each of you all have any last words for the students before we wrap up?
I think overall, I would just encourage students and all those listening just to really, in spite of COVID, and some people might be thinking what is happening in the tourism industry, people are not traveling, will there be careers? The truth is people will always look to travel or find other ways to entertain themselves. And therefore the sector is just changing. So it's not like it's gone, because people will always need to find a way to do what they need to do. So things might move online. So anything that you enjoy online, whether you're looking at food photography, whether you're looking at travel videos, I want you to see those as opportunities for careers that you could play in, and technology can facilitate that. So what you really need is just the knowledge to understand the industry. Once you understand the industry, there are a lot of technology solutions that will help you to apply that and turn that into a career. So I'll just turn it over to my colleague Keisha now to say the final remarks on our behalf.
Thank you.
Hi, so I'd like to just say thanks on behalf of the THCI marketing team and the entire institute for you guys inviting us to your virtual career fair. Before we leave again, we'll remind you of our social media, our websites, and our contact numbers, just for persons who are interested and need any more information. So I'll run through them again. Facebook is at Real Tobago THTI. Instagram, you can follow us at THTI_Tobago. Our website is www.thci.edu.tt. And our email address is info@thti.edu.tt. Our office number 660-2196, and our WhatsApp contact number or mobile number as well, 303-5153. On behalf of the team again, we say thank you.
Thank you so much. And students, I just want to remind you, this is marketing, and they all mention that they are part of the marketing team. So, of course, in every single profession, there has to be marketing. So also, I want you all to take note of that as well. So ladies, congratulations. This was really an informative presentation, and I know you are going to have lots of students coming to the Institute in a couple of years from doing all of these career fairs, as it is indeed an exciting field. So on behalf of the St. Patrick Education, Guidance and Counseling team, thank you so much for being part of our career fair. God bless.
Thank you
again.
All right, students. So as we await the next presentation, we have a video for you all. So you all can just view, relax. We are going to the next presentation in a short while. Thank you so much again, students.
Find something you love to do. Do it every day. Be obsessed. Balance can come later. Use your imagination. Put pen to paper. Declare your intentions. Set small goals. Knock them off, set more goals.
You have a lot of potential as a child, but none of that is capable of manifesting itself as freedom before you become disciplined.
Build confidence. Grow a deep belief. Outwork people. Play the long game. You don't have to be the chosen one. The secret is to build the resolve and spirit to enjoy the plateaus. The times when it doesn't feel like you're improving and you question why you're doing this. If you're patient, the plateaus will become springboards. Finally, never stop striving, reaching for your goals until you get there. But the truth is, even when you get there, even when you get here, standing on this stage, it's the striving, fighting, pushing yourself to the limit every day that you'll miss and you'll long for.
If you want to be a grocer or a general or a politician or a judge, you will invariably become it. That is your punishment. If you never know what you want to be, if you live what some might call the dynamic life, but I will call the artistic life, if each day you are unsure of who you are and what you know, you will never become anything, and that is your reward.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you.
How many of us, I wonder, can recall that childhood moment when we experienced happiness as a state of being, that single moment of untarnished joy, that moment when everything in our world, inside and out, was all right. Everything was all right.
There's like a adjustment slot. 1 second.
All right.
Hi.
Hi.
How are
How are you all doing?
Good.
Nice, nice, nice. Are you all ready?
Yes, just give me 1 minute.
Sure. So let me welcome you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of our virtual career fair. I know, we all know, in this land of technology, we have to take our moments to pause in order to ensure that things work well. So students, we have next Trinidad Hilton, and they are going to take us on a journey into the field of tourism and hospitality as well. So without any further ado, I welcome the team from Trinidad Hilton to do their presentation. Thanks so much again.
All right. Just come and get back on to you guys. Hi everybody. Good morning. My name is Melissa Joseph. I'm the Human Resources Coordinator here at the Hilton and Trinidad Conference Center. We are happy to be here to be able to give you guys a little career guidance as to what we do here. This is also my colleague, Kian Diaz. She's also a Human Resources Coordinator here in our Human Resources Department. Basically, our job functions are basically we deal with all the administration of the hotel, as well as the benefits, industrial relations, as well as safety and security. This is to ensure that our staff is properly safe and that they understand our policies that we put in place, as well as they live by our values. We live by our 5 pillars of values, which is the hospitality, integrity, leadership, teamwork, ownership, and now, right? So we live by this of our daily activities at the hotel, all right? Kian here actually came across from our other departments. So I just want to give you all a little insight of what she came from when she started working at the hotel, what she did at first.
Okay. Thank you for having us on again today. My name is Kian Diaz, and I'm going to share a bit of my story here at the Trinidad Hilton. I have been with the Hilton for the last 26 years. I started off as a room attendant, cleaning guest rooms, cleaning function rooms. Also took every opportunity that Hilton offered me at the point in time, all the online classes, all the presentations, the free courses that they would have offered, all in the view to elevate myself while working here at the Hilton. After working for just over 10 years, I got the opportunity to apply for a position as a supervisor within the housekeeping department. Of course, I had just over 10 years experience in that area. At that point in time as well, I also went back to school and studied for diploma. I was studying for a diploma in human resource management. And then I got the promotion to become a housekeeping supervisor. Being a housekeeping supervisor, I was also privy to work in the laundry department, work closely with other departments such as purchasing, engineering. We work closely together within that department, you know. And coming out of that, I actually went back to school again to do my bachelor's degree to further it in human resource management. Then there was an opening at the human resource department for HR coordinator. And I applied, you know, and of course, I was selected as one of the candidates to fill the position. But of course, I had my as you say, qualifications that I had gathered during the course of my career at the Hilton. So I am now part of the bigger picture, of the bigger team, where we manage people in this department. where we manage people, we see people, we train people, we see people grow in their careers, and I'm happy to be a part of the HR team now. So that's my story, and it's a story of growth, motivation, and perseverance. And children, this is something that you all can do throughout your life. Yes, you plan your career, but it takes a drive. It takes, you have to keep motivated and pursue it. Right? So I'm just sharing my story to let you all know how you all can grow and develop within the hospitality industry, even starting from a small position, and then you can reach the top. It's quite possible once you remain focused.
Okay, good.
So I will also at this time want to touch a bit of the other careers that we offer at the Hilton Trinidad and Conference Center. Right? We have our housekeeping department, engineering department, kitchen department, front office department, finance department, purchasing department, and safety and security department. They make up the entire body of the hotel. Right? The housekeeping department, the basic prerequisite skills will be 5 O levels, the ability to be trained, the right attitude, and the willingness to learn. Housekeepers make clean guest rooms and make guest beds. Also, the housemen will clean the corridors and take care of more of the masculine roles within housekeeping department. Then I can also touch on the engineering department. Again, it's wide. It's a wide area. We have engineers, assistant engineers, plumbers, electricians, carpenters. We also have persons who do AC technicians, all make up the part of that department, the engineering department. And of course, some of the prerequisites for the engineering department will be, of course, your 5 O levels. You must have previous training, be it NEC certification in AC, plumbing, audiovisual, those areas. Next, I want to touch on the kitchen department. Again, the prerequisites, 5 O levels, and then you must have some experience and certificate in culinary arts in order to become a chef in our kitchen.
And the passion to cook it too.
Right. You must,
is about food.
Yes. So you must have that passion, you must be focused, as we will say, you must be committed, because it's long hours, you're on your feet, the hours are long, you're on your feet, you have to get something finished before you actually, as you will say, break off for the day or go for lunch, etc. Right? So it takes a lot of commitment in order to be a chef. Also, the front office department, we do take in persons again with the basic requirements. And if they do have an associate degree in front office management, again, from hotel school or any other hospitality school, we will take them to work at the front office department. Finance department, of course, we're dealing with money. We dealing with the finance of the hotel. So they monitor all the money that comes in and the money that is spent on a daily basis. Persons getting into the finance department, of course, has to have a degree in finance, a degree in management, being able to analyze figures, etc., in order to be able to function within your role in the finance department. The next important department is our purchasing department. The purchasing department sees about all the incoming goods that needs to come into the hotel on a daily basis. And I say on a daily basis, because on a daily basis, we will buy fresh produce, fresh meat, all in keeping in terms with the health and safety regulations of Trinidad and Tobago to have these items served fresh every day to the guests. The purchasing department oversees all those purchasing. So we're talking about fruits and vegetables, meats, alcohol. We're also talking about linens, towels, sheets, etc. for the housekeeping department, any other large ticket equipment needed for the engineers to work with. They oversee all purchasing and items coming into the hotel. And lastly, I'm going to touch on the safety and security hotel. Not hotel, but department. They oversee the well-being and the comfort of all the workers to make sure that we're safe on a daily basis. They do their monitoring, they do their patrols just to make sure that everything is in place and there's nothing that is strange happening within the hotel. All right. They are also responsible for briefing our guests with our safety policies, our safety rules, where exits are located, where fire hydrants are located. So they also keep the guests informed. And this, in a nutshell, is actually all the career paths that you can venture into at the Trinidad Hilton. Thank you for listening. I'm going to hand over to Melissa.
Yes, so we're going to give you a little sneak peek into how our hotel is right now. One sec. All right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. All right, I'm just going to get some difficulties here. You have a lot of folders up right now. Right. All right, I'm trying to share the screen here. Okay. All right, in the interim, Kia is we're just gonna continue talking about all right, we're getting some kind of technical difficulties on our end, right? So we're just gonna continue talking about the careers that we have here, our personal stays, the staycations and stuff like that. Here in the interim, you could just talk to them about that while fix the situation.
All right, so let's have an engaging session now. Do you all have any questions that you want to ask after myself and Melissa shared a little bit about the Hotel Hilton with you?
Well, we are live stream, so the questions that would be asked would be coming from the YouTube chat. But in the meantime, while the students are gearing up their questions, I guess we can chat.
Yes. Okay. Well, yes, I'm trying. I'm getting some difficulties.
Yes, sure, no problem. I love the motivational story. I really loved that journey that you highlighted so that students would recognize that to move up a ladder, it takes not only education, but determination. And I really appreciated you sharing your journey. And if it is, you can just once again, in a nutshell, just share all the careers. I heard you mention engineering. I heard you mention house supervisor, human resource manager, plumbing. Just you go ahead and reiterate again, just so it gets the questions going.
Okay, talk.
All right.
While I work on the video.
So let me share with you, going a little more in depth in some of the career paths you can take at the Hilton. As I mentioned before, you can become a housekeeper. You can become a houseman for the male students. You can become a laundry attendant in our laundry department. You can become a presser in terms of pressing our guests and team member clothing. You can also become a washman in terms of washing team members' clothing and guest clothing. There's another department that I can also touch on. It's called the stewarding department. The stewards are responsible for washing and sanitizing all the cutleries, pots and pans, knives and forks, plates, etc. that are in use in the hotel for both guests and team members. That's a separate department, okay? I could also go into the kitchen department and call out some careers there. We have the commie 1, we have the commie 2 position. You can also be an assistant chef. You can be a chef. You can be a chef de partie. You can also be a pastry chef where you specialize in making all the delicacies, the pastries, the cakes, the cookies, things like that. And of course, again, you will have to have a diploma for baking, a diploma in baking and pastries. Of course, you can have that done at hotel school.
Well, I'm seeing, oh, sorry, go ahead. Let you finish because I'm seeing the questions coming in now.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, well, we just wanted to show a short video as well.
Yes, so you're getting it? You're getting the video?
Yes, we got it.
Okay, all right, so I will ask the questions after. Go ahead with the video. Okay. Thanks so much.
Sure.
As our founder said, to accomplish big goals, you must first dream big dreams. Hilton has.
I don't think they're seeing the video. They're hearing, but I don't think the students are seeing.
I'm really proud to be part of Hilton because we are committed to opening the doors to 1 million young people around the world by 2019.
I found my apprenticeship. I just applied online. It was a very nice, easy interview process. I've had so many opportunities, such as public speaking. I remember I was 16, I was at a conference, I had to speak in front of 80 hoteliers, and it was really exciting.
No cabía en mi cabeza todo el mundo de trabajo que hay en la hotelería.
I don't think they're hearing, but they're not seeing the screen.
Posibilidades impresionantes, o sea, aquí es como una pequeña escuela. Mi vida era completamente distinta ahora. Ahora veo posibilidades que antes ni siquiera soñaba, o sea, quiero seguir aprendiendo.
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
All right, sure, no problem. Wonderful.
All right, just 1 second. That's good. So. Nice, lovely.
Okay,
so we're back.
All right. Well, let me go ahead with the questions then. So what students are asking, is the kitchen always busy, and is it based on a roster system, all these careers that you all have highlighted?
Yes, the kitchen is always busy because we always have a lot of guests that comes in internationally and locally. So we also try to be a little more creative with our dishes and make sure our cuisine is up to the standards which our guests enjoys. That's the most important thing. Yes, they are rostered. We have many shifts. We have 6 to 2, 7 to 3, 10 to 10. Right?
10 to 6.
10 to 6. So we have several shifts depending on what you are going to be preparing as well.
Now, let me tell you, the hotel never closes its door.
No, 24/7.
It's always open. So guests can check in 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And they may reach out to have a snack, a late night snack, or they want to have a drink 12 o'clock in the night, or at 2 o'clock they get the munchies and they want to have some fries. So the kitchen department is never closed.
Yes.
The line is always going. Because they were going to call in the order
from the in-room dining section,
right? And of course, the chefs are there to prepare the food for them, the item, and of course, in-room dining will take it to their rooms. Doesn't matter the time of day or night.
Oh.
So let me just say that.
Emphasize that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
24/7.
Someone is asking a question about the requirements to be a front office. To work in the front office, what are the requirements to work in the?
So let me answer that question. The basic requirement to get into the hotel industry at the Hilton is 5 O levels.
Okay.
We do also take persons with their front office diploma from the hotel school, front office management. If they have the associate degree in front office management, we do take them as that as well.
As well as tourism.
Tourism
is a plus.
The most important thing I want to add is that they must have the right attitude.
Yes.
If they also have experience dealing with customers and guests in an environment like that, we also see that as a plus. If they had occasions that they would have interacted with one-on-one with the public, be it in another sector or anything like that, and maybe they would work in the banking industry as a clerk. We will take them because they have that experience interacting with persons, with people, and they will also have the experience in dealing, let's say, with an irate guest or irate customer. They will also have the experience to know how to we also say the customer is, important, so that,
their satisfaction.
Right, their satisfaction is paramount. So we look for somebody with the right attitude, where we throw scenarios in the interview. We throw scenarios to them, to giving them scenarios, how you will deal with somebody if they come and, they just throw back the guest key at you.
Yes.
As a front office staff, how you will deal with that?
Yeah, how would you handle that situation?
So based on how they respond in the interview, we know, okay, well, this person can handle a situation if it's presented to them by a guest. So it's a combination of all these things.
Okay, I heard a little Spanish in the background in one of the videos. So is having a foreign language, as one of the questions there, having a foreign language an asset?
It's not necessarily an asset, but it is a plus.
Okay.
It will be an asset, but if you do not possess one, that's okay, because we can train you. We have programs here that we will run through the HR department that will do Spanish one-on-one, or Spanish beginners, so we can train you.
On our Hilton University programs, we have that.
Right, okay.
Right, we facilitate that for our team members.
All right.
Right, they have access to our lobby on Hilton, that they'll be able to do these different types of courses that they want to enhance their career in.
Okay, so some students are asking, do you use fresh produce every day? Is there frozen products used? Tell me.
Okay, so let's break it down for you guys. Our produce come in fresh every day. So we have suppliers, gardeners who will, through the purchasing department, they will be a partner with us, and they deliver fresh eggs, fresh lettuce, tomatoes, things like that every day. Right? Now the meats, again, what we will do with the meats is that the meats can also come in fresh, but we will freeze them. We will put them to freeze. So we always have a supply, a stock in-house, So what we will do is that we will have those items on a cycle, on a dated cycle. So we will know what came in. We have to use it within 1 week. We have to use lamb chops within 3 months, and we have an expiry is labeled. The expiry date is also on the item in terms of our meats, right? So that's where the purchasing department also comes in, because they do regular stock taking of our inventory, what we have, what we need to order, what we're running short on, and they will source the items for us. But as much as possible, we try to utilize the local produce from our local suppliers, farmers, and so
support our local suppliers mainly.
Wonderful. Another question, how do you deal with the disabled? I'm seeing here they're asking, how do you deal with the deaf and the blind population, persons with disabilities?
Okay, I can tell you off the bat, we did have doing internship with us on 2 occasions, 2 trainees who were actually, disabled in terms of hearing. All right, so they will, of course, they use the computer like that. And we did, in our organization, what we also have, I can tell you, is ramps. So persons in wheelchair have access these areas, We do have, like our washroom facility is also fitted with persons with disabilities as well. All right, I can dive into this. We do also cater for team members who have recently had a baby.
All right.
So we have a special room, a breastfeeding room where they can sit and express the baby milk and bottle it, and there's a refrigerator, everything there for them, right? So we try as much as possible to be inclusive with all, the human being.
Yes.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Another question coming in here. How do you deal with the critics? I guess because we just had a presentation where a career as a food critic was highlighted. So I guess the student is asking in terms of people who would write on the hotel. How do you deal with the critics?
So let me tell you what we introduced at the hotel a couple years back. We introduced what we call a mystery shopper, right? The person wasn't affiliated to the hotel at all. It's an outside provider. And that person came in under the disguise as a guest, did everything, had a complaint, etc., just to analyze and see how our team members will deal with situations like that. All right, so critics are always welcome, because coming out of criticism, we can see where we need to tighten a bit, where we need to do some retraining a bit, where we need to introduce some new programs to have our team members, at a certain level, a refresher, things like that. So we take criticism with, as we say in Trinidad, with a pinch of salt. All gearing to make our hotel and our industry a better place to stay.
All right, thank you. On an average, how many people visit the hotel on a daily basis? I'm seeing that question coming in.
Well, I can tell you we have just over 411 rooms, guest rooms with bed, bath, etc., that guests could stay. We also have what we do function rooms. So if you want to have a wedding, you want to have a graduation,
or just a
birthday party, whatever it is, we also have rooms, conference rooms for that. On a daily basis, our occupancy will fluctuate. Okay? Of course, because of the COVID situation, everybody knows what's going on, but we still have the peak periods in terms of the Easter weekend, any type of long weekend, we will see the rise in occupancy. We can go from 20% to 60% like that.
All right.
Like I said, the hotel door doesn't close. So somebody can, let's say, just an example, they can break the car can break down on the Savannah, and they live in San Fernando. They can just call the hotel, can I come and stay a night? We will, of course, accept them. Right, so anything can happen. Once a person wants a room to lay their head, a comfortable, clean room, we will provide it. It doesn't matter the time of day.
All
right?
right.
But occupancy will fluctuate based on groups coming in, guests coming in, etc., and what's happening in the general hotel. So if we're having, for example, a wedding, so we know that they book the ballroom and they're having the dinner there, right? And the reception there. Now, if added to that wedding party, you may have, let's say, 25 wedding guests who will opt to say, let me stay at the Hilton one time. So when I done the party, enjoy the wedding, I don't have far to travel. I can just go in my room and rest myself.
Yes.
So that would also bring in more guests. And also, so it's dynamic. It changes all the time.
Yes.
Right? So it's not like fast and dry 100%, 50%. The occupancy will fluctuate based on different activities that is happening in the hotel and in the country on a whole.
All right, just two more questions in terms of the salary ranges for the jobs that you all would have identified. A student is asking here about the salary range. Specifically, I think they were asking about as a plumber. I don't know, probably somebody has some interest in being a plumber, but if you can generally give us a rough approximation in terms of the salary ranges.
So let's say a plumber. Now, in the engineering department, we classify every worker, every person in the engineering department as an engineering worker, right? So your specialty may be plumbing or whatever your specialty, everybody gets the same basic salary. All right. Just to let you know, basically it can be like 1,100 and something is a week.
$1,100 a week.
$1,100 a week.
Prorated, as per your work compensation rates. This is what we do. And then we have trunk points, house points. Depending on your department, it will be added onto your salary. So a point could be about $500. It fluctuates depending on the service that is within the hotel. So if it's a peak time, as Kay has mentioned, like Easter, it might increase to $1,000 per point.
Now let me explain you about the
It
point and
fluctuates
the
as well.
trunk system.
Yeah.
This is what we know as service charge, right? So once a guest comes to the hotel and they use our service, housekeeping service, whatever service, we charge them what is known as service charge.
Yes.
Now the service charge is then at the end of every month shared equally among all the staff members. So that, along with your basic salary, that will also, hike the salary up.
Up a little bit.
Again, this is also based on occupancy. Right?
All right. Okay. So, cute question. They're asking if the staff gets a room in the hotel.
Working so hard, yes.
All right, so let me tell you. All right, so I'll say yes and no. All right. Now, let's say there's a scenario where there's a hurricane coming and we have our workers working overnight. Let's say they work 2 to 10, so they're supposed to leave at 10. But for some reason, there's something happening within the country and they cannot leave. We will oblige and give them a room to stay for the night, but it's not something that they can do every night because so it has to be a particular situation. Also, what we have for our team members are family and friends rates.
Okay.
Right? So as a team member, you're eligible to stay at any other Hilton, not Trinidad Hilton. So you can go to Miami Hilton, you can go to Barbados Hilton, and you get discounted rates on board and food and beverage. Your family can come and stay at the Hilton using your discount as well. All right? And let me add here, any team member making more than 10 years service with the Trinidad Hilton, one of your benefits will be a lifetime benefit of you can go to any Hilton around the world once their occupancy permits and get a 50% off on board and food and beverage. Once you have worked with the Hilton brand for more than 10 years, you're entitled to that. So that's one of the benefits again. So you see where the salary doesn't make up for the other benefits.
Yes, you get a lot of benefits.
Let me add here another benefit is that we provide breakfast, 2 meals on the company. So you can either have breakfast, lunch, or you can either have lunch, dinner, late snack once you're working. All that is a benefit. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to leave and go outside to get food, something to eat lunchtime. Right? We also, in terms of making our team members comfortable, within recent years, we also introduce what we call a rest and relaxation room.
Okay.
Right. So that in that rest and relaxation room, we have a large aquarium with fishes. We have nice sofa seating. We have two desktop computers. Person can go up there and use as much as they want to, and just relax. Take a deep breath. Listen to some music. So we have you aside from the hustle and bustle. And if you feel that you want to have a break or a relaxation time, you're going there and you relax yourself, and then you come back out fresh. So all these little perks and benefits we do offer within our industry here at Hilton.
Well, you have given the students so much for thought that they're asking, so what schools I have to go to come in to work at Trinidad Hilton? But I know it would, of course, depend on what you are coming in to be hired for. But is there any specific institution that you all will recommend to our students who would want to be part of the hotel industry?
All right. So I would have wanted to mention Hotel School at Shangaramas, but I know right now.
Well, there's the one in Tobago. I know the one in Tobago operates. Yes, and they had that presentation before.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Right.
Yes, yes. So I think that is why the questions are flowing like that.
Of course, UWE degree in tourism, management, etc. We take persons with those certification, right? But as I said, the main thing we look for is the right attitude.
Yes.
And we will get that when we do our interview with you.
All right, okay.
Yeah, right. So somebody can come in with just the 5 levels. They can apply with just the 5 levels. And they have that knack for service.
Yes.
We pick it up, we take them, we train them, and they blossom in their position.
All right.
We have them grow.
And I think that is key, that you have the right attitude, because it is a service and hospitality industry.
Yes.
Yes. So one final question, the regulations, the following of the COVID regulations, how have you all implemented that at the hotel?
So, last year, with the event of COVID-19 within the country, what the hotel decided, what we had to do in terms of within the COVID regulations handed down by the government at the time, right? We introduced hand sanitizer stands. So at entrance, when a guest comes to the main entrance, of course, we take their temperature, we have them sanitize, all right? When they go to check-in, we present them with a bag, with a mask, a small tube of hand sanitizer. Our guest rooms are sealed. So once the room attendant goes in there, they clean, they put a
stick outside
seal on the door so nobody enters before you do, so that you know that room is sanitized and clean for you staying there, right? Of course, what we have also introduced is we limit the amount of persons in our recreation area. Yes. So we have the use of the pools, the use of the gym, because we do have a gym, the use of the tennis court and other recreational areas. We take it with the specification, whether 5 persons at a time, whether 10 persons at a time, we abide by those rules. Of course, we will inform the guests. If you want to go to the pool, let us know what day, what time, so we can have kind of roster who's going to be there at any given time. All right. Also for the employees, the same goes for the employees. You enter the compound, you are asked to take your temperature, you are asked to wash your hands, right? You are also asked to sanitize your bags, your handbags, whatever you have to sanitize them, whether we use Lysol wipes or a fogging machine, right? Then you have to enter, you're able to enter the hotel compound as a worker. Also, with the COVID-19 restrictions as well, in terms of our eating area, our cafeteria. So every team member entering the cafeteria to have a meal has to wash their hands, right? sanitize. We have now introduced one team member per table.
There's much more sharing of the table, so it has to be one person.
Right. We have introduced disposable. So we have disposable cutleries where you can use. You have disposable boxes if you want to eat and have your meal in that. So those are some of the
Measures, yes. I'm just seeing one more question because I know we have the next presentation. Someone just wants to know if there is medical staff, a doctor on board in case someone falls sick at the hotel, if there's an allergic reaction to whatever food, or are people trained in first aid. Just share that one very quickly. As I'm seeing, I've been queued for the next presentation.
Okay, so let me run through very quickly. On a yearly basis, we run a first aid course. So all of our team members on a yearly basis are trained and certified in rendering first aid assistance to any team member. All right, so they are certified, right? We are in a relationship with our closest provider, the St. Clair Medical Hospital. If a team member falls ill or there's an accident on the job, etc., we send them there.
All right.
Also, of course, we also have the Port of Spain General Hospital, which is just around the corner to us. So we'll have them go there. That's in the event of any accident on the job.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much. This has really been engaging. I thank you so much for your wealth of information, and I know you have certainly sparked a little passion there. Probably not a little, a lot of passion in our students to be part of the hotel industry. So on behalf of St. Patrick Guidance and Counseling team, thank you so much for being part of our virtual career fair, and God bless. And be safe, be safe. All right then. Take care. So students, we have been having full conversations this morning. So we would have been introduced to careers in the tourism sector, the hotel industry, the hospitality field, the culinary arts, etc., etc. And now we are going to have a different kind of discussion. We are going to dive into making sure that you all are knowledgeable about substance abuse. So on board with us, we have NADA, and they are going to share with you to ensure that you have the right information about substance abuse. They are going to share with you all some content so that you make informed and wise decisions. So we have this morning Miss Annette Augustus. Oh, very familiar name. Miss Annette Augustus. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our virtual career fair. It's so nice to see your face and to have you. Miss Augustus was once part of our team here with Guidance. So we welcome you, Miss Augustus, to do your presentation.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much, Ms. George. It's a pleasure seeing your smiling face again. Hi.
Hello.
So the viewers, the students, Dr. and the other facilitators, pleasant morning to you. As stated, I am Ms. Augustus of NADA, and I'm here to give you some information which is very important for you. This information, if not taken clearly, not used, can be a barrier. Without the use of this information, you can get some barriers towards your career. And previously, we had some beautiful, wonderful information from the previous presenters. So here we go. Are you seeing my screen? Everybody seeing the screen?
Yes, we are seeing the screen.
Okay, right. Nada, we are from the Ministry of Education. I'm sorry, Ministry of Health. I'm so sorry about that. Education is still in my head. Right? And NADAP is a specialized unit under the Ministry of Health. We deal with substance use and abuse information. And what NADAP stands for, the acronym NAD, okay, P, NADAPP means the National Alcohol and Drug Abuse Prevention Program. And what do we do there? We are the central agency. Just 1 minute, I'm having a little glitch on my system here. Can you hold on? Right. Our theme today, I'll start over a barrier to achieving your dreams. When you say barrier, what is happening? At NADAP, NADAP's role is the central agency in drug demand reduction. It's a mandate to develop and coordinate, facilitate, and implement, likewise to evaluate national efforts in the prevention and reduction in the demand of illicit and illicit drugs. A whole mouthful. In short, what we do implementation of programs, we do demand reduction, we facilitate, give aid, and assist drug information, so to individuals, to groups, schools, community, workplace, all drug prevention aspects. Demand reduction. What is the demand reduction? What we do improve the physical, mental, social, and economic health and well-being of the citizens through a multidisciplinary approach to prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation. So the prevention part, as I said earlier, and we give information. The treatment part, from the information, the treatment providers may be able to help deliver proper treatment for the individual who is using. And the rehabilitation process, we oversee some of the rehabilitation centers, making sure that they are doing the standard of care for their clients. So there's a lot of work NADAP does, huh? As we go along. If it is running a little slow, my area is having a little glitch with the internet this morning. Drugs. And here what we're going to be doing this morning, we're giving you information. Okay, what is a drug? You're hearing about drugs. What substances that we are talking about? We'll be looking at the impact of substance use on adolescent psychological development, on your development, because you're an adolescent. The impact on your academic development, the impact and consequences of substance use on your career development. And this is what the program is about, your career advancement, giving you tips about different job spec, different areas, and how to go about getting involved, being gainfully employed. But if you are having problems with substances or you have not started, I'm going to give you some prevention tips. What is a drug? A drug is any substance, with the exception of food and water, which when taken into the body alters the body function, either physically and psychologically. Right, so what is this drug? Anything that you take within your body, except food and water, alters your body function. All right, drugs may be legal, such as alcohol, caffeine, tobacco. That is for adults 18 years and over. You're an adolescent, so it is illegal for you to consume such things. Or illegal drugs such as cannabis, ecstasy, cocaine, heroin, and other hard drugs. Again, only adults use this. Only adults use the alcohol, caffeine, and tobacco because it's legal for them. And any other drugs taken, it's illegal. Why do people use drugs? You may ask yourself, because it's being heard so many different places, so many different times that drugs is a problem. But why do people use drugs? People use drugs for varying reasons, such as they want to fit in, peer pressure. As an adolescent, you're going through your developmental stages, you have friends, they're pressuring you to do certain things, to escape some problems you're having, to escape some issues, to cope with stress. There are so many stresses going about the place right now. We are in the pandemic and it's stressful for the adults, likewise you, because your lifestyle has changed, okay? Being bored. What should I do? I'm tired doing the same thing over and over. Let me try something new because I'm bored. All right? Depression. I am feeling depressed. I don't know. I'm not liking myself. I'm sad. So, depression. Or something, you have some problem and it is there for a period of time, and it makes you feel really sad about yourself from experiencing depression. To achieve a high, I want to feel a little higher or better than how I am feeling. So what should I use? What should I take? So I use a drug to feel that high. All right? And just to relax. For what a day. Finish school, finish work. I had a full day, so I just want to relax. So I'm going to have a drug. So all of these things and all of these reasons why people use drugs, but it all boils back down to addiction. When you use drugs over a period of time for these reasons or other reasons, you become addicted to the substance to cope with whatever problems and their addiction takes place. All right? So you'll be using the same drug over and over to cope with your situation. And you become addicted to it. You just have to have it to cope with whatever situation that you're experiencing. So some common drugs adolescents misuse over a period of time. And alcohol. As I said earlier, it's illegal for adolescents or a child, anybody under the age of 18 to consume alcohol. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant and affects almost all the cells and systems in the body. So you may have seen people take the alcohol, you may have seen adults drink alcohol and they behave differently. You know, they're high. You feel they're high. You use the term high, but it's a depressant. It brings you down, changes your mind and your moods. It alters your system. So when you teenagers take it, same thing happens to you. What's in a cigarette? Okay, you have seen cigarettes around many times in our life and our experiences. But have you ever wondered what's in a cigarette? Besides lighting up and seeing the, the actual cigarette burning, there are approximately 4,000 substances being burned in a cigarette whenever you light a cigarette. And out of those 4,000 substances, about 60 of them is carcinogen. That is a cancer-causing agent in the cigarette. So cigarette is related to cancer, and in the cigarette, which has 4,000 substances, over 60 of them are cancer-causing agents. We also have nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive ingredient in the tobacco, and it is a very dangerous drug. Okay? So the contents of a cigarette. You can see my screen clearly. You've seen the cigarette, the layout of a cigarette. So what is behind that wrapped paper? We have lighter fluid, industrial solvent, insecticide, vinegar, rocket fuel, acetone, battery liquid, the battery contents. If you open a remote that has a battery in it and the battery is there for a period of time and it's spoiled or it bursts, it is swollen, you see a liquid coming out of it or a powdery substance. That is what is in a cigarette. Okay? Toilet bowl cleaner, candle wax. Now that you see all of these things in a cigarette, you know what the contents of a cigarette are. Do you still want to smoke a cigarette? Do you still want to take a chance and lighting a cigarette, putting it into your mouth and taking in all that poison? You think about it. Next drug that is commonly used by adolescents is marijuana. Other known names: cannabis, weed, herb, pot, local high grade, Vincy, Mary Jane. But the cannabis and any other names that you may have today calling them, like Sensi, and you know, young people, you have your various names and cues that you add to, you relate the substance to, so the adults may not know. But be mindful that we are aware of it. So that marijuana comes out a mix of the dry leaves of the cannabis sativa plant. The main psychoactive ingredient or chemical in marijuana, which is responsible for the intoxication of people and how they behave, is delta-9. It's a very long chemical word, dihydrocarbonyl. You see, I having problems in all pronouncing it, commonly known as THC. So it has a very long name. It has a short name, THC, but the effects is the same. What's in the name? The effects is what we look at. All right? So as we move along with this commonly used drugs, we're now going to look at some of what is happening to the brain. Some of the effects that happens to the brain when you use marijuana. As a teenager, you are developing physically, mentally. You're going through your physical growth spurt, you're changing your physical appearance, but also your brain is still developing. So when you use marijuana at this stage of your life, it affects components in your brain. The main functions, which is related for your proper functionality, is barred from going through its total and its correct stage of development. Here you can see on the screen, judgment, this frontal aspect here of your brain, decision making. When you're under the influence, the frontal cortex that controls decision making becomes impaired. With the green area, the THC also affects the area of your brain that controls the balance and coordination. So, you know, that balance and coordination, your movement is affected. All right? Marijuana affects the frontal cortex involving decision making, right to the back, you're seeing the blue area. And it also affects the back area here, this red or pink, where you can feel pain, you're susceptible to emotion. So sometimes you're numb about a painful situation, or sometimes you get injured and you're not feeling the hurt. Your skin is bleeding, you're bleeding, you have a little bee sting you, and you're not feeling the pain as you should, because the marijuana has affected that area. So you will not be feeling what you're supposed to feel. All right, so remember, you're developing. Marijuana hinders the proper functionality of the brain and the different segments of it. What's new in cannabis? Some time ago, the word cannabis, marijuana, it's legal to use it. No, it's still not legal. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has decriminalized a certain amount of marijuana for adult use only. Decriminalize it, meaning that the adult can have a certain amount of cannabis or marijuana in their possession, and they will not be charged or will not be fined according to the law in the land. However, if you go beyond the amount, there are penalties attached to that. So here I have a few, the main parts for your interest today. A person who has in his possession more than 30 grams of, or less than 30 grams, a person who have no more than 30 grams of cannabis resin, cannabis or the cannabis resin in their possession, they will not be fined or charged. Right? A person who has in his possession more than 30 grams, more than, but not more than 60 grams of cannabis resin. Cannabis resin is the oil and the product of it, right? Commits an offense and will be fined $50,000. That's the adults. All of these laws are pertaining to the adults. It is illegal for an adolescent to have in his or her possession any form of cannabis or marijuana in their possession. Okay? So I showed you earlier on what is happening to the brain when you use marijuana. When you use drugs in general, as a teenager, a lot of abnormalities take place in the brain. Instead of having proper self-control, as you can see in the front, it's under construction, you will not have that control that you're supposed to have, you know? You'll be studying a lot of things that is not really in your stream of thought right now, which is supposed to be studies. I'm not saying you kind of have a little recreation, but what will be happening, not recreation and drugs, but other recreation is studying other things, but drugs in your system hamper your normal brain functioning. All right? So rightfully you should be studying, okay, you're a teenager, what will be going on in your brain? Your status, you know, what is happening with your friends on Facebook, you know, your TikToking and things like that, and other social media. It's not going to be happening because of the marijuana have taken away that normal functioning metal as a teenager in your hand. Okay? Now you become extremely rebellious because of it. So reasoning and judgment. You have the whatever syndrome. Whatever, when your parents speak to you, whatever. Because of functionality has changed, the decision making have changed, it's changing under the constant use of any drug as a teenager. The impact of substance use on adolescents and the psychological development. As adolescent, I was once there many, many moons ago. You know, we take risks. You do take risks. You are told not to do something because of a certain, you know, the parents, the adults may see the danger, but hey, within your head, I'm adventurous. I will take the risk. I will do it. All right. So you are the greatest risk taker at this time in your life. Everything is, I want to try. I must do it. I can't live. How will I survive with such a thing, not doing such a thing? So you take risks for yourself. And you know, you may get yourself in a lot of problems, physical and emotional problems. You are more responsive to rewards of the risk. So when you do something, you say not to do it. Hey, I can do it, and sir will not know, miss will not know, mommy will not know, your parents will not know. Nobody there that you're saying. So I can do it. No problem in that. You are less sensitive to the ill effects of the substance. So even though you are hearing on a daily basis the ill effects of when you take substance, I will still try it. I dare you. I can do it and live. It's normal. It's a norm. Nothing wrong with that. That's a mentality, you know. So that equates why I said, and it is proven by studies and to show that adolescents take a lot of risks at this time of their life. And also remember that your judgment, your developing brain is still, your judgment capacity is still not up to the fullest standard. So that is why at times you need constant guidance, you need constant guidance towards your development and some of the actions that you take as an adolescent. What is happening? As I said earlier on, when you use the substance, your cognitive function is affected. It affects your concentration, it affects your memory, and it affects your attention. And it is seen in school, at home, and at home. At school, concentration is off. You're not focusing on your task ahead, you're not focusing on your work. You cannot remember certain things that were said to you even at home. Your parents will tell you to do certain things and expect you to do it, and at the end of the day, hey, nothing is done because you cannot remember some of the things that you are told to do for the day. And attention span, you're bored quickly. You cannot concentrate, you cannot focus too long on a particular issue. Jobs and school. What is happening to your jobs at school? So here am I at school and I'm using. What is going to be the outcome? High level of absenteeism from classes. Right? When present, highly disruptive behaviors is displayed. So your high level of absenteeism, you're in school at times, but not in classroom. You're everywhere else besides in your maths, English, your Spanish, whatever class is scheduled at that time. You're in another form level, climbing with others, with your friends, or you may find some little corner behind the school and just chill out. That's your term. And the end result, suspension. You're suspended from school after continuous warning, you're in court, you're breaking the school rules, the school policy about substance use in school and drugs, hey, or in suspension. But I think you still have the Learning Enhancement Center, so all is not lost. Even though you're suspended and you're home, they are working with you to curb that habit that you have. Besides all of that, sometimes you have interaction with the law, negative interaction with the law. And when I say negative, the law have to step in because it is illegal to have marijuana, alcohol, or cigarette on you as a minor in the school compound, at home, in the street, going anywhere. And if you are caught with it by the police, consequence. You are not able to effectively write an exam. Why can I not write an exam when I'm using marijuana? I cool, I'm relaxing, I let the focus. You take the substance thinking it will be a beneficiary to you to write the exams, but unfortunately, it do not help. When you do that, it hampers your memory. You're unable to recall. You're not able to concentrate because when you're doing exams, no question is hardly ever a question comes straightforward. You may get one straightforward question, and you have others that you have to apply your knowledge to answer. You cannot concentrate, you're not focusing, you're away from classroom, you're not getting the tips from the teachers how to do what you have to do, then most likely you will not be able to concentrate and write the exam. And then what will happen? Failure. You fail your exam. You did not pass. So, they were saying you went to school for so long and you did not come out with anything, right? Sometimes you drop out of school in general. But I know at this level, you are not going to allow all of these things to happen to you and have a negative school report. Because after a while, you may come back to your previous school, come back to your school that you're at now to get a report, the academic performance, and it may not be nice. So I'm saying, and I'm with assurance that you will not be using drugs to have all of these negative aspects pertaining to your school life, which will debar you from entering into the job spec, going through your career path that you have set your sight on achieving. As we move on, the consequence of drug use and misuse. What happened? We're hearing it every day. You are using the drug. You did not hear not to stop, they start using. The consequence of the drug use. Remember, you are minor. You're still under the direction, the responsibility of your parents, and that's your family in general, and it affects your family. When you behave negatively, you use and misuse drugs, your family is affected because they're responsible for you. All right? Mommy, daddy, whoever responsible for you in school have to leave work, get in school for a report or meeting from the principal or the dean, the subject teacher pertaining to your behavior in school under the influence of the substance. You get yourself involved in crime. Okay, you start stealing. You start fighting, you become violent. You're violent to your teachers, your parents, members of authority, even the citizen in the street, because they may be doing something and somebody call out to you and, hey, negative interaction. Your health, you're not too young to suffer the ill effects of substance use on your health. Right? As I stated earlier on, it starts from a developing brain. So your action, your thought patterns, right? It is related to your action. Right? And when you take in substances, it affects your developing body. Not only your brain, you have your heart, the liver, the eye, the hearing, all your vital organs are affected. And you are not exempted from getting any severe illnesses. The economic factor when you use it. To you, it might be a plus. When your parents give you money to travel to school, when school is normally in functioning, or give you money to do whatever you need to do, you may take that money and purchase your alcohol, cigarette, marijuana. You see, hey, I have an opportunity to gain money, so I will sell. I have a marketplace. So economics coming to you, but that is a short-lived economic factor. You're entitled to go into crime and get back interaction with the law. All right? You get yourself involved in communities that is using. It may not be the community to which you're living in directly, but you may associate yourself with another community or friends, all right? And even relatives who use them, and you have an income. You get yourself involved again in violence and crime, it affects your health, and here the family get involved. So it's a circle, a negative circle when you use and misuse. And these are the consequences you can face as a teenager using substance. As we move along, I included this, the impact of drug use within the workplace, because it's more about your career. You may be lucky, you continue using, you use, even though the information is given to you about the ill effects, right? And you use, but you become an adult now. Remember, it's career path. You ask some beautiful questions pertaining, how should I get into this place? What do I have to do? What school do I have to go to? You did all of that. Maybe successful, and you pass the exam. However, to get into the workplace, there's a little exam that you have to sit. It's not a written exam, it's a drug test, where you are sent to do a drug testing to find out, the employer wishes to find out if I am taking a very responsible person, someone who I will not have problems with. And the problems that you're looking at is the security of his or her company. All right, you wish to know that, hey, this person that I'm going to possibly employ, a prospective employee, is not a security risk. Because under the influence of a substance that you're using, you can do harm to the company, selling, stealing from the company, okay, and damaging their organization image. No employer wishes to put on the news, pick up the newspaper, go onto the net and see his or her employee being charged or wanted for possession of any substance, okay, or involved in any activity relating to substances. All right, and that affects the company image. So what do you think will happen to you after you, hey, I'm lucky I get through? What is going to happen to you? I don't think you might stay long into the organization, because the image, no one will want to keep you employed in the organization. It also affects your productivity. Can you produce the way that you ought to produce on a daily basis? You're asked to do something, you're not doing it, or you query about it. It's okay to ask a question, but it's in the manner in which it is done. Decision making is horrible. You feel everybody's against you. You're not doing something. I decide I'm not doing it because of. You're not looking at the whole morals of everything. Why am I here? The purpose of me being here. If you're at work, you're either not late, you're extremely late. Absenteeism is great. You're high in absenteeism. You're supposed to be working 5 days a week, you're there 2 days a week. So it's limited productivity from you towards the organization because you are positive, you're fully under the influence of continuous use of a substance, drugs, and it affects the productivity to the highest level. All right? So as we move on, now that all of these things is happening to you as a substance user and you want to stop, you can't stop. You have the help of plenty people. And if you have not started, don't start. It's nothing great to achieve. Okay? So let me give you some prevention tips. You decide what you want to do. As it states, you decide. So what are you going to do? Here are some prevention tips for you. Don't be afraid to say no. Hey, I am not using. If someone come up to you and say, hey, try this now. I don't like this math, teacher. God, who likes math? Who likes Spanish? It have some of you may like math, some of you may like Spanish, but that's just in a little minority. But you might have a friend who do not like it and try to encourage you. Listen, for me to go into this math class, I had to psych up myself. I had to cool my head. You want to smoke? Hey, say no. I will go in and try and listen on my own and try to understand and ask the teacher for help. All right? Choose your friends. So if you have a friend that is encouraging you to do such a thing, hey, let that decision-making process in your brain work for you and say no. Choose your friend. You don't need a friend like that at this stage of your life. All right? Avoid negative peer pressure. You know, that's the saying, everybody's saying avoid negative peer pressure, negative peer pressure. Negative peer pressure, that is what is taking place with you and your friends. They're encouraging you or trying to encourage you to join them in taking something to relax, fit in, to be part of. What about turning it around and be positive? Pressure them to stop. So positive peer pressure. All right. So if you maintain friendship with them, hey, tell them as it is. You don't need to smoke. You don't need to relax the hell. Let's go into class, sit in front. Or if you're sitting in the middle or the back, wherever you are sitting, just focus on what Mr. Sir is saying. So be a positive peer pressure for them. Build your own self-esteem. I know a lot of teenagers have self-esteem problems. They don't like females, don't like how they look. The girls don't like how their hair looking, the size, the color of the hair, and everything like that. Build your own self-esteem. You are beautiful. You are powerful. I know young men also have problems, you know. They don't like how the facial hair is looking. They have pimples on this, acne on their face, as same as a female. They find that the growth spurt is happening in an awkward way. The hands may be longer and the foot, whatever. They can't kick a ball as they would like to, but it's all right. You're developing. Like yourself, you will change. You're in a cocoon stage now and you become beautiful after a beautiful butterfly. Build your own self-esteem. Okay, don't wait on someone with any negative aspect to validate who you are. You are beautiful, you are kind, you're intelligent, and you can do what you can do. You decide. As we move along with other prevention tips, talk to your parents or someone who is trustworthy. Now, at this stage of your life, some of you may have problems talking with your parents. It's normal. Parents say no, and you are saying yes. It's always a tug of war. There's an ante. There's a serious fight. But don't give up. Find someone, if you know you cannot speak to your parents or your parents are not approachable, it's quite okay. Still love them. Still try and share with them. But indeed also find someone who you can speak with about whatever is a trustworthy adult or other members of your family. Even try a guidance counselor as a social worker. Let them know what is happening to you. All right? Or even a friend within your age who you think you can trust and who has a positive aspect in life as you do. All right? Get educated on the negative effects of drugs. Read more. Use the internet. Search. Do more researches. Learn what is happening. Go onto the internet. Use it. The University of the World, and they give you a lot of information about the negative effects of all the drugs. But this presentation is just a little compilement of things. You will get some more, and plus ask the guidance officers and your teachers. Also, you can ask your parents, because they are also informed about the effects of drugs. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Nothing wrong. I said, Miss, so I have a question. Can you help me? Ma, dad, uncle, what is so and so? So you know how you communicate with them, go to them, ask for help. All right? Exercise. Get involved in sports or other extracurricular activities. Right now, it's kind of difficult for most extracurricular activities to take place. So we now have a recent lockdown in society due to the pandemic. So I know you all at home, except the Form 4s, 5 and 6 who have labs and stuff, just to go into school and return. But when you're home, you can find other extracurricular activities you can do. You can help your parents with a little gardening, practice your baking skills, work on the internet, learn how to play chess, draft, some game, do something. You can even exercise at home, do a little push-up, skip rope, something so you can get yourself, mentally and physically involved in a positive aspect. So you will not be pushed or lean towards the negative aspect of getting yourself involved in any community negative aspects, such as using drugs, stealing, fights, and such, etc.
Hi, Miss Augustus. I don't mean to be rude, but the room is going to close off in a little while to facilitate the afternoon session with upper school. So if it is, you can just, I know it's going good, but it's just because we are on a time schedule. So if you don't mind just sharing the last thoughts, we would sincerely appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, right. So thank you, Ms. George. So when you need help, you can email the NADA at nadaprograms@health.gov, call your school, talk to your guidance officers, your social workers, your teachers, you talk to your parents, right? So on the slide after the show, you will get other information, and be great, the big concept, better knowledge towards your future. Be the bird in flight and take off on a positive aspect. Okay, fly high to fulfill your dream. You dream it, you can achieve it. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Augustus, I do humbly apologize. And we thank you so much for that presentation, a wealth of information. And I sincerely appreciate you saying to students, though it has been decriminalized, marijuana is still illegal. And I hope they got that message. So I want to thank you so much, Miss Augustus, for coming and sharing your time, your wealth of information. And I want to further challenge them to have that big concept as they continue on their journey to choose wisely. So on behalf of all of us, Miss Augustus, we say thank you very much, and God bless. So students, Yes, yes, anytime. You are one of us. Thank you very much, Miss Augustus. So students, unfortunately, we have to close off the room, and this brings the curtains down to our career fair for all our Form 1s and 2s. We just want to say thank you officially. So if tech support could just put up the official thank you. And students, of course, any questions, please contact your guidance officer and counselor. So yes, students, we want to say thank you again on behalf of all of us. We appreciated you coming in and spending the time with us. I don't know if we have the official thank you up. I know, yes, we want to just say thank you to you all. And to all our presenters, we know it is a labor of love. We know that it's always a wonderful thing to mold our young minds and to impart your words of wisdom. So we say thank you again. We say thank you to the RSC team, as well as all those who were working together with the RSC team in the background to ensure, yes, it's up. Thank you. A special thank you to all our students. We had a wonderful song for you all, but I don't think we would be able to play it. So we say thank you very much to our students. So God bless. We have to close off the room. So God bless, and you all take care. Any other bits of information, please contact your guidance officer, your guidance counselor. God bless, and thank you for being part of the St. Patrick District Virtual Career Fair. Tech team, I know we have to close the room, so I'm leaving. Miss Augustus, thanks so much again.